Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, September 13th, 2025 for me. Another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. So this was a hard video to make. It is, I think, close to 9:15 now. Normally, if you watch my previous videos, I record very early in the morning, like around 6:30. It could be as late as 7:30 in the morning, but generally I'm recording early. But I couldn't think of a topic this week to talk about, and even last night and this morning I couldn't think of a topic to talk about. And I could have put something on, talked about my budget, where that stands. And yes, I'm in a good place. I have $3,300 left to pay off this last personal loan, and then of course I got my student loans. But that's okay. That's okay. But I am physically, emotionally, mentally exhausted, and it's a tough place to be in. Partly because there's a lot of changes going on my job, and just a lot to deal with in a short period of time, and I'm doing the best I can to stay on top of everything that I do, as well as learn all the changes that are happening. But it can be a little tiring, and just doing the best I can to deal with. That's partly the reason for this. The other part is because some days I wonder, it's like, why am I doing all this? Why am I pushing myself to pay off this crazy amount of debt? So yeah, I guess I am going back to my consumer debt. I paid off, I think I looked this morning, I paid off like $78,000 worth of non-mortgage debt since June of 2020. And that's great and all, but I don't have any family, I'm not married, I don't have any kids. And so my journey might be a little bit easier in that regard. A little more difficult in the fact that I'm not making six figures a year after taxes, not even close to it. But and I'm sorry, and after taxes, as well as having medical bills every year, see my rheumatologist once a quarter, see my primary care physician, getting labs done, all that stuff. It wears on me. Traveling is difficult for me. So I did go out of town last weekend, and I was at the office 5 days this week, half a day on Wednesday. And doing something like that, I'm looking back on it, it's like, okay, if I'm going to travel, then I need to, make sure that I'm rested for one thing when I get back to work, and find some avenue to let out my frustration. I guess back in the day when I was a musician, I would. I'm sorry for the lighting, but back in the day when I was a musician, I could let my anger or frustration or whatever I was feeling emotionally out into my music. And so, that probably helped. I don't really think I thought of it that way, but, practicing hours a day, writing music, performing, being on stage, being able to make people laugh and feel comfortable in the environment, that was, something that was just natural for me. Now, I don't know where it came from, but I just, did it. Now I don't really have that. Listening to music for me is difficult because I'm, very analytical when it comes to music. Like for example, let's say I go to a grocery store, and it's better now because I don't really have that issue. But in the past, what I would do is I would hear a song, and while I'm shopping, I would analyze, what key it's in, what the time signature was. I would analyze the chord progressions, it's just things like that. So I really couldn't enjoy the song for what it was. And I did that for years. And so I just basically stopped listening to music. I listen to music more now than I have, let's say, in the past few years, but still not to the level that I used to listen to music on. So why am I doing this video? Why am I, this is an outlet for me. Being able to share a bulk of this has for the past few years has been sharing my budget. Prior to that was sharing my experience living with lupus and adapting to living with lupus. But I am struggling today. I would say I've been struggling for the past few days, actually. Spent a lot more last month than I wanted to. And at the beginning of this month, same thing. Not because I did it out of impulse. It was necessary for some of those things. The travel, I had to do it, but I can't talk about the reason yet. I'm sorry for being vague, but for now, it's going to stay that way. Once everything is settled and I have answers, then I could talk about this time in my life. But right now, I can't talk about it. So yeah, the other thing is that groceries are sky high, and it's really eating into my budget. And I'm really trying to figure out ways that I can cut back in spending on groceries, shopping at stores that have deeper discounts, because right now it's just darn near impossible not to spend over $150 sometimes a week on groceries. I don't eat out except this past weekend and when I went out of town, and maybe a few times this week I did, because honestly, mentally, physically, emotionally, I was exhausted, didn't feel like making anything, and that's a terrible place to be in. So I do my best not to eat out a lot, and I will probably hit my target this month of paying down my debt. Might have a little bit of a challenge towards the end of the month, but if I move some money from other categories to cover what I'm trying to accomplish, then I should be okay. But I really wish I had answers on how to deal with this, because I'm right in the thick of it. I can, when I'm around people, I can, pretend everything's good. I can, be energetic and make people laugh and deal with my own insecurities and pain and sort of mask and hide that. But this week is definitely worn on me. And maybe not even this week, maybe the past few weeks. And I just feel like laying down, feel like just going to bed today. I don't have a lot of close friends to talk to. It's a lot different than in the past when I had a circle of friends that I could just go talk to, hang out with, have a coffee, go bowling, do things like that. It was very, I wouldn't say I was outgoing or extroverted or anything like that, but I definitely had a group of friends that I would enjoy spending time with. Now, that's not the case. I have one very close friend that we talk every now and then, not as often as I would want, but yeah, it's not easy. I'm struggling today. I wish I had answers, and you may have come to this video thinking I had answers. I don't. This is my reality right now. I'm gonna do my best to get myself out of this funk. But I hope you all are doing well. And if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You don't know when I post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@nightofonbudget. As always, thank you for watching. You all take care.